welcome to the 21 Public Service Career Expo. My name is Lisa York, and I'm excited to be one of your moderators for the program today. I currently work at the City of Lenexa. I'm a human resources manager there, and I have been in the public sector for about 25 years, so I've been doing this for a while. I have a great co-moderator today. Her name is Faith Eisler. Hi, Faith. Faith, you want to introduce yourself?
Absolutely. My name is Faith Eisler. I'm with Johnson County Park and Recreation District, and I work in human resources just like Lisa. I am the recruiter and volunteer coordinator. I've been with JCPRD for just over a year and a half, and I've worked in the public sector for about 8 years.
Thanks, Faith. Well, we're thrilled that you've chosen to join us to learn about public sector careers today, and especially in this session where we're going to talk about parks and recreation careers, and there's a lot of opportunities there. I would ask our viewers, if you've not already done so, if you would please have, if the teacher or whoever has logged on to the program, to type the school's name and the number of students in attendance in the chat box. It just kind of helps us have a record of how many people have attended or are attending the program today. Oh, I do see Shawnee Mission West is there, so welcome, Shawnee Mission West. We do have several speakers with us today, and they're going to talk about their careers and their career paths in park and recreation. You may recognize some of them from the video that we just watched. I'm going to let them introduce themselves, and we're going to start with Allison Smith. Allison, please introduce yourself. Tell us what organization you represent and how long you've been there and what you do.
Yeah, so Allison Smith, and I'm the Corporate and Community Wellness Coordinator here at the Johnson County Park and Recreation District. And I've been here coming up on 3 years now, and I will celebrate my full decade of being in the park and rec field here in July.
Cool. Congratulations. Regina Watson is also with us today. Regina, could you tell us tell the group what you do and where you work?
Hi, I'm Regina Watson. I'm the Outdoor Education Specialist at Ernie Miller Nature Center, a part of Johnson County Park and Recreation District. I've been with the district for 10 years, and I love my job. We get to do all kinds of fantastic things. Monday I was in a costume from the 1850s. Yesterday I brought turkeys, or a mounted turkey, into a kid's classroom and talked about turkeys and the season that's coming up with Thanksgiving around the corner. So we get to do all kinds of fun things, educating people about our natural history as well as some of Johnson County's history. Super.
Thanks, Regina. Next up we have Judy Davalier. Drew. Hey, hello, Drew.
Hi.
Tell us what you do in your position and how long you've been there.
Okay, I'm Drew Davalier. I'm a natural resource technician for Johnson County Park and Recreation District. I have been in this position for almost 4 years. I've been with the county a total of almost 9 years, including seasonal work and other positions. My job includes doing prescribed burning, arboriculture, fish stockings, prairie plantings, counting deer by a spotlight in the bed of a pickup truck sometimes, a wide variety of different things, including all of our natural resources.
Wow, that is quite a variety. And our final presenter who's going to be with us today is Jeff Stewart. Hi, Jeff. Why don't you introduce yourself?
Yeah, hi everyone. I am Jeff Stewart. I'm the Executive Director for Johnson County Park and Recreation District. And I've been in the park and recreation field for my entire professional career. So not to date myself, but coming up on 30 years here before too long. My responsibility currently is to administer the oversight of JCPRD's many assets and services. Currently, we have over 10,000 acres of park ground, 22 recreation and culture facilities, and we offer, believe it or not, over 4,000 programs and events each and every year. All of these services welcome over 10 million visitors and participations on an annual basis, And I like to scale that a little bit because that's kind of a mind-blowing number, but that's more people than you can pack into Arrowhead Stadium in 16 plus seasons of sellout games for the Kansas City Chiefs. So hopefully you've started to learn or will learn today that there are so many career paths you can follow in the field of parks and recreation. We hire so many professionals, whether it be landscape architects to programmers, park police officers, naturalists, IT professionals, a number of administrators. And if there's anything that you're interested in, chances are we have a position in park and recreation that will satisfy those interests. So, and truly, what better place to work than where you also play? So, through the use of our strategic plan, what I spend much of my time doing right now is working with our team of professionals in developing and maintaining our beautiful park, recreation, and culture facilities. Really, the variety in what we work on and provide is truly incredible. And I often like to share with folks that what we get to work on and accomplish in a year is more than many professionals get to do an entire career in their industry. So good to see everyone today, and thanks for having me.
Jeff, thank you for all of that. And everybody, thank you for introducing yourself and being with us today. Students, you may have noticed that the term agilities was used in the introductory video that we played. That might be a new term to you. Simply put, agilities are your personal strengths combined with your interest as they relate to your career. Being able to identify those agilities can help you as you think about what your career options are or what you might want to do in your future. The three top agilities associated with careers in parks and recreation were inspecting, organizing, and the third one was serving and caring. We're going to talk a little bit about that. The agility of serving and caring, that can obviously be displayed in different ways. It might come up differently in different jobs. I'm going to ask our presenters as time allows here to talk about how that is demonstrated in their positions. So Drew, maybe we could start with you. How do you feel that the agility of serving and caring is demonstrated in your position?
I feel that it's represented by my position by the services we provide with natural resources for all of our patrons that come to the parks. We take care of our lakes and fisheries. People come to our bodies of water to paddleboard, kayak, boat. We have single track trails that people can mountain bike, they can hike, they can jog on. And then we provide many beautiful natural areas that are either remnants of what was once here or that we have restored over the past decade to bring them back to their former glory for people to come out and enjoy, take a hike through our woods, take a hike through a prairie, see all the amazing work we've done to provide this for our future generations to come out to the parks and enjoy our natural resources.
Thank you, Drew. Allison, let's talk about your position as a wellness coordinator. How do you demonstrate the agility of serving and caring?
Yeah, so as a wellness coordinator, I do all things wellness, and I coordinate a lot of the fitness classes for the district. And so finding out what fitness classes are popular and what is wanted and needed in the community for that area. That's kind of how we care about our patrons and their likes and dislikes. I also work a lot with seniors and some families to make sure that they have every wellness opportunity at their fingertips here in the Johnson County area. So for seniors, trying to get those guys out and moving, finding them resources and different benefits, a part of their insurance, and working out for free at different facilities. And in Parks and Rec, we're all friends up here. So even if JCPRD can't help them, we'll send them to our friends over at Lenexa, and they can help them out. Maybe it's just a block away from their house. Either way, we're here to provide those resources for our folks to live their best lives.
Thank you. Regina, what about you? Do you think this agility applies to your position, and if so, how?
Yes, so we do provide lots of educational opportunities here at Ernie Miller Nature Center, not only visiting our sites, but also coming into kids' classrooms, into nursing homes, into other facilities to help provide education of our natural history as well as some of our regional history within Johnson County. We also work with a lot of volunteers, and volunteers help us as an extension of caring and serving their community. We also get to care and serve our volunteers, helping them provide great educational experiences and help them in their endeavors too. We also have a lot of fun taking care of animals, and we get to serve and care for those animals, making sure that they have the best life possible in captivity within our nature center.
Thank you. And I have a little bit of time left. Jeff, you're a director. How do you think directors demonstrate this agility at work?
Yeah, thank you, Lisa. So it's just it's an amazing field to be in. Really, our responsibility to kind of oversummarize is to bring quality of life to our residents and visitors of the community. And so every day we get to engage with folks throughout our community and work with them to really assign our resources to provide them with experiences and opportunities that they're interested in. And that's extremely rewarding when the work that you do results in a lot of fun and gatherings of families and friends and just really positive experiences. So serving and caring certainly is what we do, and we do it through a number of the services that we provide and work closely with our community on.
Thank you. Thanks all of you. Those are all great comments, panel. Students, now that you've heard a little bit about what Parks and Rec is all about, it's time for you to ask some questions of the panel. My co-moderator, Faith, is going to lead the question and answer portion of the program. If you have any specific questions that you want to ask, please type them into the chat box. We will try to get to as many of those as we can. And I'm going to let Faith kind of take that away.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Lisa. And something that's unique about the field of Parks and Recreation is that I know we have Shawnee Mission West here and some of the other high schools. If you're interested in this career area, you could get started actually as soon as next week in a job like this. So I wanted to start out by asking the panel, what was your first job in Parks and Rec, and kind of how did you get to where you are today? Let's start out with you, Jeff.
Yeah, thank you, Faith. Well, I was a Parks and Rec kid growing up, so certainly participated in a number of programs and events and activities and things that the local Park and Recreation Agency provided. And, that was a great interest and a lot of fun. And as I started to go into college and exploring some of the things that I might be interested in, I got to meet and visit a little bit with the Parks and Recreation Director for the city of Manhattan. And basically asked him, well, how do you get your job? And so we developed a relationship, and he kind of encouraged me to pursue it, which I did at Kansas State University. They have a curriculum for Park and Recreation Administration. But to your point, Faith, I really kind of, as a participant, then that transitioned into, as a teenager, needing to earn a few bucks to put in my pocket. I started as a seasonal employee, as an umpire or an official, and really that just scratched my interest a little bit more. And then following graduating from college, have been in the profession for almost 30 years, as I mentioned previously, and just have loved every bit of it. I've had a number of positions. Coming out of school as a programmer, and that kind of triggered some interest in exploring things in park planning and strategic planning, and our park and natural areas and so forth. And so it's just been a great career thus far, and I'm part of an amazing organization now, working with an amazing team. So it's been a great time thus far.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Jeff. And we're so glad to have you leading this great team. Allison, I know that you kind of have a similar background to Jeff and how you got your start in Parks and Rec. Do you want to explain to the students what your journey has been?
I would love to. So I guess, well, I started out as a sports official. So I went to Fort Hays State University for 6 years. I got my undergrad and graduate there. And I worked for the intramurals department. And the reason I got my job is because I attended an area football rules meeting, and I was the only female in the room. And that showed my boss that I was ready to work and was willing to do anything to get that job. So I started out as a sports official, and working for the intramural department. I got to help plan events and coordinate all the cool stuff like our giant campus-wide Easter egg hunt and our haunted campus tour. And I fell in love with it. And after doing that for 6 years, that helped prepare me to get my first full-time job at the city of Pittsburgh. And it's all uphill from there. It's been a wonderful adventure, and I absolutely love it.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Allison. And Regina, what about you? What was your journey to your current position like?
Well, this is my first job within Parks and Recreation, but I have worked in numerous capacities doing educational programming from the YMCA to other governmental agencies, doing education and wildlife aspects of that job. I've had a lot of fun bouncing around the world, showing people how much I care about nature. And I returned here to Johnson County and found Ernie Miller Nature Center as a fantastic place to work.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Regina. And Drew, what about you? I think you started out as a seasonal with us. Do you want to explain your journey to the students here?
So kind of going back to the beginning, I fell in love with the outdoors, having a dad as a young child that would take me every weekend hunting and fishing from the age of 3 all the way until now. I've been outside. So kind of about, 6th, 7th grade, whenever your teachers start asking you, what do you want to do for a living? Kind of made me start thinking about wanting to be outdoors, doing something, and kind of tried to pursue the path of becoming a game warden for the state of Kansas, which sent me to Kansas State University, where I got my education. While I was there, I was a park ranger for the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers at Milford Lake. I did that for 2 summers. Enjoyed it, but decided after that time to kind of change my focus from law enforcement into more of a conservation type pathway. And so that kind of led me to here. I started with JCPRD as a seasonal talking to fishermen as a creel clerk. And then they kind of found out I had other skills that put me to use doing tree work, stalking fish, prescribed burns, planting prairie. You name it, they had me do it. And then I became a full-time park worker at Heritage Park, where I was at for just over 3 years. Enjoyed the time I had there. And when we created our first ever natural resource tech position, I jumped at the opportunity to apply for it. And so I've been in this position almost 4 years, being a natural resource tech, spending every day outside doing what I love.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Drew. So as you heard, a lot of folks got their start as a seasonal employee. So kind of moving in that direction, what's the best part of your job or the most fun part of your job? If you can narrow it down to one thing, we'll start with you, Regina.
That's hard to choose. I like interacting with people and having a lot of fun finding out how nature works with them. I was out with some kids just the other day, and we flipped over a rock, and there was a little ringneck snake. I could pick it up and show the kids. Some squealed with delight, and others gave me a grimaced look as we looked at the little snake, but perhaps they got a little bit more out of the experience of finding some wild nature just around them. That's one of my favorite things, is seeing them change their minds, or perhaps get a little bit of joy out of seeing nature around them.
Awesome. Yeah, I might need you to help change my mind on seeing snakes on that one, but we have something for everyone here at JCPRD. Jeff, what about you? Do you want to tell us your favorite part about your position?
That's a challenging one to answer, Faith. I really truly love the services that we provide, but probably the favorite part is just really, it's so rewarding to actually see so many people enjoying and benefiting from the so many services we provide. I mentioned over 4,000 programs and events each and every year. So there's truly something that will fit the interests that anyone could possibly have. And the 10,000 acres that we provide, just going through our parks and being on our trails and seeing the smiling faces and the joy that we're really, our hard work is really providing to folks here. And I think I'm a little biased, admittedly, but I really think Johnson County, why it's such an attraction for folks to live here and businesses to move here, is because of our quality of life, which includes the many services we provide. But it is a true joy to see people enjoying the many services we provide.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Jeff. And what about you, Allison? Can you narrow it down to one or two things that are your favorite about your job? I know you love it so much.
I do love my job, and I'm not saying that just because we're on the call with a whole bunch of students, but I actually do love my job. I mean that. I will go out and try and convince anyone to get a job in Parks and Rec, because that is where the party is at. Just what Regina and Jeff both said, like remembering our why we're in this field. We bring the party, we bring the fun, we work hard so that way other people can have fun, and just seeing people enjoy and just in pure recreation mode, like out on the trails exploring, flipping over rocks, not my game, but good for you, Regina. And just seeing all that fun stuff and cheering people on is probably my favorite job, is being a cheerleader, encouraging people to get involved, encouraging employees and their employee wellness. Hearing those small successes of, hey, I just hit my goal weight with my personal trainer. It's like, all right, that's awesome. Where can I need to get with that personal trainer. But I really do love my job, and being a cheerleader and encouraging everyone to get involved is probably my favorite part about the job.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Allison. I might need to get with that personal trainer as well. Drew, what about you? What's your favorite part of the position?
So as I told the last group, I'm quite the firebug. I love doing our prescribed burns. We're getting ready to go into prescribed fire season. We've already had several we've done. Tomorrow I'll actually be on a 12.5 acre fire to convert an area here in Shawnee Mission Park into a prairie later on. But aside from that, our fisheries management, I love that, being a lifelong fisherman, watching people have a good time coming out to our lakes and ponds fishing, and watching how happy children get when they, possibly catch their first fish, and just how much time they enjoy here. Things that I really love about this job.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Drew. We had a great question come in from Shawnee Mission West, and I know we've talked a lot about our seasonal positions, but they are asking if you could each give some general information for a full-time career in Parks and Rec, not just a seasonal position. If you want to talk about the job outlook, competition, salaries, maybe skill sets that we would be looking for somebody with a job like yours. Jeff, do you want to start us out with that one?
Yeah, I'd be happy to. So really, as I kind of alluded to earlier in the program, whatever your interests may be, visit with a park and recreation professional, and there truly is probably an opportunity that would be in alignment with your interests. And as your interests change, like mine did throughout my career, there were still opportunities to explore as I moved through my career to really pursue and shadow folks, and really gain some experiences that put me in a position where I was qualified to do something else in the field. It's a great question on competition and salaries. So kind of high level here for our regular employees or full-time employees. Right now at JCPRD, of our 300 plus full-time employees, our average salary or wage is probably about $55,000 a year. Now, you can imagine that there's quite a range in that. So where we have professionals, whether that's an IT professional or an architect, something of that trade, it may be a higher salary because that's what the market dictates. And we have more introductory type positions as well as folks start to pursue and explore the things in parks and recreation. So it varies, but we also have a lot of professionals that do other things during their day job, that just have an interest in being a part of what we do, and they work for us part-time or seasonally or as a volunteer, where they may make a wage per hour, and it's not so much even just the amount of the money that they're bringing in, but the interest in and being involved with something that's so positive. So I hope that helps answer that question a little bit. I'll turn it over to somebody else.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Jeff. Regina, what about you? I know we have a full-time position open in your department as a naturalist right now. What is the job outlook for naturalists? What are some skill sets you look for in candidates?
Well, we do have an open position. So I think our position is quite competitive with the salary. I never dreamed I was going to make this much. I thought I was going to be doing a lot lower in life as a naturalist, but finding Johnson County Park and Rec has very competitive salaries. Just starting out, finding a way to volunteer and work with the organization that you want, that helps put your foot in the door. Being comfortable talking to groups, and for my part, knowing what animals need and some of the educational aspects of providing that education to others, as well as conveying that love and joy for your animal love to others. And some of the competition is very difficult. There aren't as many parks that have nature centers. Hint, hint, Jeff. Nature centers are ones that are governmental agencies generally, and we can provide a lot of opportunities for people to get involved with the outdoors.
Awesome. Thanks so much. We did have some great questions come in the chat box from Turner High School. This one's specific for Drew. They are asking, how many fish on average do you refill the parks with? I know you just did a trout stocking event recently. Do you want to tell them a little bit about that?
So we have an annual trout stocking program, and it was actually last week. We put 2,000 pounds of trout into Shawnee Mission Park Lake, and we put 1,000 pounds of trout into Kill Creek Lake. But we also have 2 stockings that we do every spring. One happens in February, and then another one usually happens during spring break in March that we put trout in. The first stocking, we actually tag 15 fish in each lake, and if you catch one of those, you win a gift card. But we also have 2 rearing ponds here in Shawnee Mission Park that we are raising 3,000 catfish in each that will go out next year, starting into our local lakes and ponds that we have. And then we also have vendors that will come. Just last year, we had wiper and smallmouth put into Shawnee Mission Park Lake. We will have sometimes 30,000 bluegill at a time put into Kill Creek to help with forage there for the largemouth. But we kind of try to manage our fisheries pretty good. And I mean, we get a lot of pressure, but we try to have a good fishing experience for people that want to come out.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Drew. And Jeff, this might be a question for you. We have another question from Turner High School in where does all the funding come from? Is it state, local? Can you explain the funding process and how that looks for us?
Yeah, absolutely. For Johnson County Park and Recreation District, we're a little bit different than some. We're the only special park district in the state of Kansas. So we have our own dedicated funding through taxes. And our budget is about $80 million a year. And about, not quite half, but nearly half of it is funded from non-tax sources. So it's our enterprise fund operation. So that's generated from revenues that we collect for programs, for memberships, and rentals, things of that nature. So fees and charges that we charge folks that are enjoying the service. But like a lot of park and recreation agencies, we are also tax supported. That's how we're able to provide these beautiful spaces that are free to the public to use. So of our 10,000 acres, you don't pay a fee to enjoy a trail or enjoy a park and so forth. So we have our own dedicated mill levy for that, our property taxes. Municipal agencies are very similar. They work off of the city's property taxes that they collect as well. Here at JCPRD, we also seek a lot of grant opportunities, whether that be state or federal, and we've had some success with that. Speaking of positions, we even have a full-time development director. So that is a person that is day in and day out actively seeking donations, grant opportunities, partnerships, things of that nature, and we work with our foundation to help support some of the things that we have. Speaking of partnerships, we also look to partner with municipalities and school districts. I'll give an example of that. The Shawnee Mission School District recently opened a new aquatics center, or I think it's more of an aquatic stadium. It seats 1,500 people. They developed that, and JCPRD manages and operates that, understanding that it could certainly provide to the community even more so than the programming needs that the school district has. So there's a number of connections to how we get our funding to provide these services.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Jeff. Allison, I'm going to turn it over to you. I know we've got a lot of great young folks who are on this call, maybe someone who's looking for a career in public service. So if you could offer one piece of advice for these young folks who are maybe interested in a career in parks and recreation, what would it be?
Be a sponge, be coachable, and don't give up if you don't like something right away. Anytime. So I did not like every part of my job whenever I first started in Pittsburgh. Running the cemetery was weird and super creepy, but I gave it a chance. I kept an open mind, and that turned out to be my favorite part of that job, is working with the people and selling them cemetery plots and creating cemetery deeds. So instead of being negative about it and just selling cemetery plots, I remained positive. And I found the positives and how I can embrace that experience to help me later on in my career. So keeping strict records and details of everything for whenever I got genealogy requests, that helps me now. I keep track of statistics and participant numbers for a lot of our wellness programs and some of our grant programs too, to help make sure that they keep running and they're justified. So one of my agilities is being extremely organized, and doing all that cemetery work helped keep me organized. So give every job a chance. Don't quit right away. Just stick it out, stick with it. And I would strongly encourage everyone to be at a job for 1 full year before they say, this is not my bag, I'm out. Give it a chance. And then turn those negative situations into coachable situations and experience to build on your resume. And just learn, listen to people, ask questions, don't always assume, and be coachable. A lot of those times, those people have been in the field for a long time. If someone's giving you advice, they're there to help you. Parks and Rec really is the best field to be in. I can't say that enough. I used to go out to different universities and do university tour for the state to recruit college students come work for us in Parks and Rec. And I see some of those guys now out in the field working. I get to talk to them at conference, and they are so grateful that they went into Parks and Rec. So I can't say enough good things about Parks and Rec, but be a sponge and be coachable. That's probably the best advice I've got for some of you youngins.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Allison. Regina, what about you? What advice do you have for these great young folks who are logged on today?
I say go for your passions. Stick with it and show perseverance, because it is going to be hard. Everything that you want is going to be difficult and will take some challenges, but don't settle for, it's okay. Go for what makes you excited, what gives you drive, so that when people talk to you, you show them how much you care, and they will want to be with you and give you a chance. And take some opportunities. If you have an opportunity to volunteer, to make a connection with somebody, that's a great way to let them know that you are interested, and they will maybe give you some further advice about how to take those next steps and those career choices or those thoughts of what you might want to do next in life.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Regina. And Drew, what about you? What about some advice for some aspiring natural resources techs out there?
I would say, kind of like what Regina said, follow your passion. I've been a lifelong outdoor lover, wanted to be outdoors, followed my heart. Find someone in the career field you want to go into. Don't be afraid to talk to them, ask them questions. I learned a lot talking to people that had been in the field 10, 20 years that I got to know, and they really helped guide me kind of to where I wanted to go. And it's not always going to be easy, but don't be afraid to do what you want. I mean, my career path led me out to Manhattan, Kansas to go to Kansas State University and kind of bebopped here and there, worked for the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, and then worked for Kansas State while I was there, and now I work for JCPRD. So, just never be afraid to pursue what you love or to ask questions of those that can help you out.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Drew. And you all asked such great questions. I wish we had more time because we could probably sit here all day and talk about how much we love our positions. But if this career area has sparked your interest, you can take a look at those opportunities at careerexpokc.org. They'll have all of those opportunities listed within our division and then with other organizations across the Kansas City metro. So we would love to have some of you take advantage of those opportunities. If you have been inspired to pursue a career in Parks and Recreation, we would really appreciate you taking a look at those opportunities, and thanks so much for spending time with us today.